5:07 right now here live from Tukwila, Washington. I'm Peyton Behrens, and you are looking at the Starfire Sports Complex, where the Sounders U23 are here for a home match to take on TSS Rovers FC. The Rovers come down from north of the border for this PDL match brought to you today by Bootstrappers Studios. And we got the captains meeting in the circle. Wearing the captain's band for the Seattle Sounders is number 6, Trevor Jensen. And looking on the other side of things, wearing the captain's band, it's number 16, Joel Waterman. Waterman playing in all 6 games, 538 minutes under the belt, nearly playing every single minute of the season so far. 4 shots on the net for him, no goals, no assists from that captain. But we'll see a lot of work out of him in the center midfield. And for the Sounders captain, it's Trevor Jensen, the man, the myth, the legend, who's been working the middle of the field all season long. He's the human workhorse where the ball swings through him right to left across the field. He's a center defensive mid who likes to get into the attack, where the Sounders run that 4-2-3-1 formation. And we'll take a look at it right now as the start in the net tonight is going to be Evan Munn. Munn is getting the nod. Paul Christensen has been the man in the net for 3 of the first games for the Sounders. He gets the nod tonight, and on the bench is goalkeeper Cameron Frost, who played Friday night in against Victoria, as the Sounders were on the road getting a 1-0 win there. Looking at the rest of the 11 for the Sounders, number 26, Tyler John, is on that outside back, the speedy, aggressive outside back who likes to get up and down that outside flank. He's a really hard worker in there, and the product from Seattle University is going to be a threat both offensively and defensively against TSS today. Looking around the rest of the defense, number 24, Nathan Awney, number 16, Connor Antley, and number 3, Macaulay King. That rounds out the defense for the Sounders. Looking at the midfield, like we mentioned before, Trevor Jensen, number 6, wearing the captain's band. The other defensive mid in there with him is number 18, Corey Keats. And in that center attacking midfield role, you got number 10, Sergio Rivas, the dangerous, crafty attacking center mid. Looking around the other midfield positions, Derek Johnson, El Tigre, as he's known, with the Tacoma Stars, gets the start on one outside mid. It looks like he's going to start out on the left side of things. And on the right midfield spot, you got Adam Jones wearing the number 20 on this side. Striker up top, number 27, Miguel Berry. Usually Will Bagru gets the nod, but today it's Berry. And we are underway here from Tukwila, Washington. And immediately it's Jones playing a through ball down to the corner to Rivas. Rivas trying to work around a defender. He's going to keep it in, and no, he is not, says the sideline official, and out for an early TSS goal kick. Looking over the TSS Rovers starting 11. Goalkeeper Andrew Hicks is in the net. He's got a 2.33 goals against average on the season. He's going to be wearing the number 30 in that highlighter yellow jersey in the net. Defenders going along the back line. Evangelo Bocas wearing number 5 today. Going across, you got Andre Bayers wearing the number 3 and number 2, Janko Vong. Sounders now working with it. Rivas tries playing a ball direct and goes nowhere. Bring the ball around now is Camera. Working with it, TSS. Going back through the starting 11, Camera in the midfield, 2 goals for, 1 assist so far. He's wearing the number 10, and he plays like it. Being able to get into the attack, he leads goal scoring for the Rovers. Looking around the rest of the midfield, you got Karen Figuera, midfielder Kerman Panu, midfielder Joel Waterman, the captain, and also midfielder Mato Polisi. Looking at the forwards up top for the Rovers, you got Christian Haitian. And up top, the number 9 for the Rovers, Daniel Davidson. Sounders working with throw-in on the far side of the field. Packing it inside the box. Tyler John likes to find that deep throw into the near post for a flick-on header. Incoming. Sounders unable to get a head on it. John able to attack and try and get the ball back, and that one's going to roll out for a goal kick. The Rovers today wearing the all-red kits And the Sounders in the world-famous Sounders Rave Green. The Rovers so far on the season with a 1-4-1 record. Their win coming over Calgary Foothills FC, where the Sounders fell last week from a 1-0 40-yard laser beam late in the 83rd minute, led to a Calgary Foothills win at Sumner, Washington at Sunset Stadium. Rivas trying to go for the second ball, and it gets flicked out. Johnson now on the attack. Plays out wide to Rivas. He's going to try and attack on that left side. Rolling towards the sideline. That ball is going to find its way into Rover possession. The Rovers, though, having a win over the Calgary Foothills. The one loss that the Sounders have suffered on the season is to Calgary. But also, TSS has had 2 matches against Calgary in which they have dropped. TSS with 6 games under their belt, today being the 7th in PDL play. The Sounders 3 games into the PDL season, but they had 3 preseason matches in which they won 1, drew 1, and lost 1 before kicking off the PDL just last weekend. Working in the back, it's Bears. Goes outside, Jensen being able to strip possession away from Panu. Working with it now, drops the ball back to his outside back, it's John. Going around the back is Antley. Antley back over to Ani. Sounders want to play patiently, and now there's space. King, near side. Takes middle, tries playing a left-footed ball into Barry. Unable to find it. Keats trying to win the knockdown. Now pushing the ball the other way is the Rovers. Keats able to get it in a double team, and now it gets flicked. Back heel goes to Jones. Jones back out to Rivas. Trying to get on some dangerous attack here. King, one touch, right foot across. Finds Barry, and now it's back post for Johnson. And that ball's going to roll out for a Rovers goal kick. Very fancy back heel coming off of Sergio Rivas. Finds its way into Jones, starting a quick attack. 4 Sounders collapsed on that ball before they were able to break out, and that's the type of defense that Darren Sawatsky likes to see. Win the ball quickly, go out on an attack fast. The flick on, finds its way to the top, now outside. Rivas. Playing outside, now the Sounders trying to go 3-on-3 with the attack. It's Jones. Jones thinks about the left foot curler. Has King overlapping. King puts the ball to the back post. No one home. Barry was trying to get there but unable to, and it took a deflection. It's going to be out for the first Sounders corner of the day. And on his way over to take it is midfielder Adam Jones. Rivas usually going to take corners and free kicks here. Jones on the first one of the day. Sounders are going to send the trees up into the attack, get him into the 18. Nathan Ani makes a run into the 6, but that ball's trying to find Antley, and now it's Rivas backside, and he's unable to get a touch on it, but it's going to get cleared out of bounds for another Sounders corner, and that's going to be off of camera. Sounders want to play short. Keats unable to get the ball back before it gets cleared out of bounds. Now it's going to be King trying to do the deep throw into the box. You can treat these like corners. These are essentially set pieces just coming out the hands of the Sounders. And the deep throw there from King gets into the center of the box, headed away, still not out of danger. Bring that ball down is Ani. Now it's Rivas, top of the box, has one man, him and King. King, lots of time, sends in the right foot. Curler, Barry's almost there. Jensen trying to keep the ball in the attack, finds out wide to King. King now drops back to Antley, and now it's King. He's had 2 dangerous crosses and a turnover there. Now breaking out the other way, the Rovers trying to get on the attack. Figuera sprays a ball and finds no one but Connor Antley, and now working with us, the Rovers, a nice little over the head to keep possession on his own. Working with it, bouncing ball on top of the 18. Plays out wide, it's Palisi. He's going to send in a right-footed ball. It's dangerous. Back to the net right now, trying to turn on it, and unable to is Haitian. Johnson now on the counter. Sounders have numbers. Rivas working in the attack, tries playing a through ball into Barry, and a heavy touch rolls in to the hands of Andrew Hicks. Sounders trying to capitalize on a quick counterattack, unable to. Now the Rovers get the roll out there and play quickly. And as Tyler John hits the ground, the Sounders win a free kick near the 50. Keats wants it to play quickly. John now wants to set it up. Short to Keats. Antley to King into Rivas. Rivas working with it. And a lazy pass as it gets stripped and taken away by Jones, but dribbles out of bounds, and it's going to be a Rover possession here. Looking back at the Sounders' Friday night match was a 1-0 win against the Victoria Highlanders, and it came off of Adam Jones with a strike in the 86th minute that deflected in. Jones now notches a goal on the season, and him and Connor Antley, the two Sounders players with goals on the years. All of the Sounders PDL contests have came 1-0 finals. Sounders were able to dominate, especially in the second half against the Victoria Highlanders, putting on more shots and being a lot more aggressive, and we've seen that in earlier matches as the opening match of the 2017 PDL season was a 1-0 win against the Timbers. Now it's Johnson, far side, left-footed, low cross, Barry dummy, goal! Trevor Jensen was there with no one around him, able to have a very gentle tap into the back of the net. Derek Johnson setting up the cross there. Sounders capitalize 1-0 within 10 minutes. It's Derek Johnson coming over on that far side, a low left-footed cross, a dummy from Miguel Berry, and a clinical finish from the captain, the man who's wearing the armband, Trevor Jensen, able to find that one in the back of the net, and we have a 1-0 lead early in this match between the Sounders U23 and the TSS Rovers. The Sounders, they were able to capitalize early. They were unable to do that in their first three matches. As with the Timbers, the goal came in the 93rd minute off of the head of Antley in the second game of the year. It was against Calgary Foothills FC, and the only thing that broke the tie was a 40-yard rocket from Calgary that put that game 1-0. Sounders unable to find the back of the net. And it was the 86th minute that Adam Jones broke the tie against Victoria. So now the Sounders able to have some breathing room here early is first half goal of the season. Working with the ball in the back line, Ani now finds Johnson. Far sideline. Johnson drops back to John. Sounders playing a lot more patient today than they have early in the season. Ball goes long side to Johnson. Trying to beat his defender one-on-one. Johnson takes the shoulder to the ground, and the Rovers are coming out the other way with it. Working with it on the outside. Now ball goes up the line. Finding Hatien. Lots of battling going on there near the goal line and out of bounds for the goal kick. And Evan Munn gets the ball in his possession for possibly the first time today. TSS Rovers unable to get the attack going early. Antley having no pressure and finally finds King. King now plays the ball direct up the line. It's going to Barry. Barry wants to try and settle the ball down. First time with the head. Now the battle's going on the sideline, and the foul will be called on Barry. Both players battling very strong right there. Barry coming up on the back end of that whistle. Barry's going to chase down Hicks now. Rovers very cautiously working with it out of the back. Now it's into the middle. Rivas has a lot of space in front of him, and he gets pulled by the jersey. That is a definite yellow card there for Joel Waterman. Waterman knew all the space that was in front of Rivas, didn't want to give it to him. Smart play from Waterman to take the foul, as Rivas may have very well been off to the races and in on the net, even though he was about 50 yards away. Waterman didn't want to risk it, and he finds his way into the referee's book for the first time today. Sounders working with the ball along the back line. 15 minutes into this match here. Sounders hold a 1-0 lead after a 10th minute goal. Antley wants to get into the attack. Tries playing diagonal Johnson, and that one's going to get intercepted. Backline working with it carefully. Not a lot of pressure out of the TSS Rovers today. The Sounders defense is going to have a field day with that, as all of them love to attack. Rivas gets the knockdown, trying to find help. Has Jensen overlapping. Now he lays off to Keats. Keats to King. Back into Rivas as the targeted man, unable to get the foot on that one. Playing within the back line is the Rovers, trying to find the target man. Lots of battling going on from Hatian. Hicks keeps it in. Knocks it back. Jensen on the knockdown. Goes to Johnson. Now it's Jensen. The Sounders reset. Don't want to force anything here. Antley into Jones. It's a perfect day out for a soccer match here in Tukwila, Washington. We thank you for joining us on this broadcast of the PDL presented by Bootstrapper Studios. I'm Peyton Behrens here. The Sounders hold a 1-0 lead 17 minutes into the match. Lots of time for TSS to work their way back in. Now the Sounders on the attack. Rivas, left-footed, shot! And it's saved. It's a foot save out of danger by goalkeeper Andrew Hicks. It's going to be Jones going over for the corner kick. Sounders want to stack the box. Johnson standing on top of it. Not a man within 10 yards of Johnson. And a right foot curler trying to find Keats, unable to go anywhere. Back to his goal. Now gets laid off to Johnson. Right-footed strike is just wide as it rolls through just about everyone on the field, and the Sounders keep knocking on that door. Goal kick taken by Hicks. Sent deep into the sideline, but King keeps it in. Keats misses the header. Bringing it down now is Panu. Trying to go deep and over the top and unable to. Now it's Keats again. Taken over by Panu. Vong now plays into the center, and that ball gets sent to the back line. Working deep in his own territory is Waterman. Waterman sitting on a yellow card after pulling on Rivas' jersey, and Waterman has a lot of time left in this game to deal with that. Ball trying to go up and over the top, and Antley is there to say no. Bears sends that ball into the midfield, and the flick was to no one and out of bounds. Davidson still working that sideline to keep it in, gets turned over. John plays up sideline to Johnson. Deflected out for a throw-in. Rivas the target for that throw-in, but no, it finds Barry trying to flick over to Rivas. Rivas, a volley out of the air, keep it in, and now it's Rivas again, but he's going to be flagged offside here in the 20th minute. Working the ball on the far sideline. The Rovers trying to get it out of trouble here. They're going to work for that throw-in on the far side. Camera with a deep throw. Keats now to Rivas. Rivas. Jensen, the three midfielders working perfectly in a trio, and a through ball out to King. Has numbers in the midfield. King, the right-footed cross goes near post. Working with it now is Jones. Jones with the body. One's going to be whistled down for a foul just outside of that 6. King, very aggressive attacking outside back for the Sounders. They love that. They may have found the perfect duo on the outsides with King and John. Now working with it, it's Panu. Goes out wide. Carrying it now is Bears. Trying to find a target in the midfield. Long through ball. It's going to stretch the length of the field and out of bounds into the Alberto beef jerky sign for a goal kick. And a big, deep free kick taken by Evan Moon. Moon, a product of Tacoma Community College, won the NWAC championship as the goalkeeper for that team right here on this pitch just a few months ago. Evan Moon, a great young talent coming up. Getting some great minutes today against TSS Rovers. Hasn't had a lot to do in the back of that net. Sounders defense is playing extraordinarily good, not allowing a shot through the first 23. Turnover now, and it's Jones cutting back between two defenders, keeping possession for the Sounders. And it's Ani getting stripped, turned over. Hatainen hits the ground, and it's going to be a foul. TSS Rovers have a dangerous free kick, and for the first time could have a look on the net. Going about 1-on-4 there was Hatainen. He finds himself on the turf, and now a dangerous free kick awaits. A great opportunity for TSS to find themselves back into this match, as they have yet to find a shot on goal, but with a set piece, they're able to change everything with one kick, and there it is, up, and goes all the way to the back post without any trouble for the Sounders, and now trying to find Barry, does so. Barry back to the attack. And it gets turned over there in the middle by Figuera. Bears drops back. Now it goes back to Figuera. In the middle now. Attacking. Trying to get into the box. Turnover after the outside the foot pass goes astray. Rivas dribbles between two and wins the ball. He keeps going now. He wants two more. No, lays off for Barry. Barry on the outside now attacking. He's going to try and cut in. A little chip goes to the back post. Jones has to chase it down. He's going to try and get numbers into the midfield. Into the box, and he's going to drop that one back for King. King has three awaiting in the box. Goes to Keats. Keats may want to switch the field. Looks over to John on the far side. John attacks. Lays off to Keats here. Keats goes outside to Johnson, who had just tried checking back into the ball and was unable to find it there. So far today, the Sounders have been the team attacking. TSS unable to record a shot yet, and it's Rivas now inside the attacking third. Takes a strike, and that one was curling to that outside post, but it gets gobbled up by Andrew Hicks. Hicks there making the dive to his right, getting two hands on that ball and reeling it in. John trying to win on the turnover, unable to do so, now working with the ball. The Rovers trying to get into the attack, but the Sounders' pressure forces a drop back. Working the ball over to the near side now. Trying to find his support. Now it's into the middle. Give and go action, but Tyler John says no. And now it's with Johnson. Back to John. Into the middle with Jensen. He's going to play that ball. Intended for Jones, but finds King off the deflection. Sounders trying to get out of danger, and that ball's going to go back all the way to Evan Moon, where the Sounders finally have some breathing room. Up the sideline, just trying to clear the space, and does so, and it results in a Sounders throw, and after the header goes out of bounds. Rivas, top of the box, lays off for Johnson. Johnson tries finding a nice pass to the back post, and it goes just a bit outside there. The Sounders keep on attacking the Rovers box on that end of the field. Rovers dodged a few bullets so far here. Sounders not being able to put them in the back of the net. Have one goal today, but they're letting the Rovers hang around a bit. Working with his Panu. Now drops back. Keats on the turnover. Trying to find Jones on the outside, but that gets stopped by Waterman. Now he wants to lead the attack out of the back. Waterman pushes. Near side with Davidson, and he goes into the middle. Rivas wins the ball. He's going to lay off to Jones. Sounders want to play slow. They don't have numbers up, and it's Rivas. Drops it back to King. The Sounders with no pressure in this back half of the field. Just keep the ball back there. They have a 1-0 lead, and I mean, still 60 minutes remaining in this match. But they seem to be in no rush. They just want to keep possession of the ball. And that one's going to go out of bounds for a throw in there as it was John playing across his body, sending in a ball to Johnson that just caught the turf on the wrong side. Spun out of bounds. John wins the throw and back in possession of the Rovers. Now it's Waterman. Playing outside here to Vong. Back to Waterman. Waterman listed as a midfielder, spending a lot of time in that back line. Originally, it looked like the Rovers were going to line up in either a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3, and now it's shifted more into a common 4-4-2 with how deep Waterman's playing, and almost as a left center back here, as that ball is going to roll all the way back to to Moon. .30 minutes gone. Sounders still lead 1-0 here at Starfire Sports Stadium. If you tuned in to the earlier match, the first part of this doubleheader, saw Sounders S2 taking on Sacramento Republic, where that game ended with some fireworks. 2-2 draw. The Sounders go into the 60th minute down 1-0, find a header off of a free kick for a goal, and just minutes later we're able to take the lead 2-1, and it all came crashing down in the 90th minute. We're in stoppage time. Sacramento was able to get a goal. It was almost the last kick of the match, and they tied it. Going back to Sacramento, happy being able to pull out a draw on the road. Sounders felt disappointed after drawing 2-2 after holding the 2-1 lead. It's Antley into Rivas. Rivas tries laying off to Jones. No, unable to get there. Davidson wants to throw in quickly. Tries going up and over the top. But it's there for Antley to shut down. Now King plays flat across the back. Antley out wide to John. John tries playing a ball up the line, and it gets taken away. Now working with it. It's Panu, but he gets turned over. Johnson dances his way up that sideline. Into Barry. Keats gets taken over in the double team. Panu gets it taken away by Keats. Referee says no foul. Panu went flying. Now it's Jensen dropping back. King, lots of space on this sideline. Takes his first touch in. Back into Jensen. Jones back to Jensen, up and over the top for Rivas. Good short, long there. Unable to chase it down was Rivas, but he appreciates the combination of play, giving a thumbs up back to Jensen after a good ball up and over the top. Rivas properly defending there, shielding away the sideline. Now it's Keats. Goes to Johnson on the flick. Jensen there to clean it up. Antley works over to King. Now Jensen. Sounders just want to knock the ball. Rovers sitting way back. No energy, it seems, coming from the Rovers side as Ani, lots of space. Trying to go up and over the top to Johnson. One now. And a long ball goes up and over the top, and on this turf, that one's just going to bounce all the way back to Munn. TSS Rovers still have not recorded a shot. Sounders have had a handful of opportunities. One that cracked through with Trevor Jensen just running into the box wide open. And Jensen is a box-to-box midfielder. He wears the number 6, but he plays the number 6 as well. Ball goes up and over the top to Johnson, and no one's going to curl its way out of bounds for the Rovers throw, and the Sounders keep trying to hit those balls long and up and over the top. Right now, so much space going on in the back and in the midfield. It's just really settle down, try and knock it, find that trio of midfielders, and be able to pass in and out of TSS and get some attack going out of the midfield. John wins the header and flicks it out of bounds up and over the bench. Jensen to Rivas on the takeover. Rivas, little touch, Jones overlapping now is King. And that ball's hit deep out of King's range, but he's going to chase it down, give Vong some pressure. Vong finds Tasaka. Tasaka battling with Rivas. Rivas outsmarts him, gets the ball into the box, lays off for Keats. Keats, one more to Barry. Foot save. Johnson on the first time volley, another save from Hicks. And now it's Antley trying to work the ball between two forwards and does so. Antley on the attack, far side, Connor Antley pulling it back, trying to keep it in and does so. And now it's Jensen. Passes out of a triple team. Johnson, one-touch ball towards the middle of the box. Now that ball skies up and into the air. Davidson trying to bring it down. Lots of contact from King. And it's going to result TSS foul. Let's go back and look at what Andrew Hicks does in the net, because Andrew Hicks could find himself on a top play reel this week. It's Barry with the one-touch right-footed strike, and Hicks gets the first one with his feet, gets back up. Johnson fired a ball from top of the 18. Hicks able to take that one away from the Sounders. Waterman over into the middle. Working around with it. Playing through his other center back is Rovers trying to work up the line. Unable there to find Kamara. John now with a long throw. Just for a header to get sent back into Rovers' possession. Ani does a great job at winning that header, and now it's Keats. He's going to play a long ball back in to Moon. He's going to reset the offense. King. Sounders here sent 2-1 and 0 on the PDL season. Got a 1-0 win in Victoria Friday night, coming off the boot of Adam Jones in the 86th minute. Here scoring was opened early in the 10th minute against TSS Rovers FC. The Rovers 1-4-1 on the season. King plays into Rivas into the attacking half. Rivas turns, trying to find Barry through, but that ball gets flicked and deflected. And heading towards the sideline, Jensen gonna shield it out. King Back to Jensen. Jensen, right-footed cross attempt is blocked out by Janko Vong. Vong, who's played all 6 games so far this season for TSS. 2 yellow cards on the season for him. He leads his team in yellow cards, the aggressive defender for the Rovers. Deep throwing coming from King. Sent into the box, unable to find a Sounder shirt. Ball stays in though. Johnson, far post, tries hammering a volley that finds itself way over into the concession stands, up and over the fence. Johnson a bit ambitious there from that angle. Had the velocity on the ball, didn't have the accuracy, and the Sounders still lead 1-0 here in the 39th minute. Working with the ball up the far sideline. Now it finds its way into Hatinen. Trying to dance his way out of a triple team, and the Sounders clear their lines.
Yes.
That one's going to go out of bounds off the foot of Mamadi Kamara, the leading goal scorer on the team. Has 2 goals, 1 assist, alongside Christian Haitinen. Both 2 goals, 1 assist on the season so far for TSS. John to Keats. The Sounders, though, through 3 games, just 2 goals on the PDL season. One coming from Adam Jones, the other coming from the center back Connor Antley with a late game winner against Portland. Looking at the other side of things for TSS, 2 goals out of Kamara, 2 goals out of Haitinen, 1 goal from Zachary Verhoeven, who doesn't find himself in the starting 11 today, and 1 goal off the foot of James McMillan, not in the 18 today. Ball trying to go up and over the top, unable to do so. Rivas trying to get from Keats, no, and it's Jones. Jones brings it down onto the carpet, plays out wide to King. King, Lil Cruyff, working with it with Rivas. Rivas being defended heavily as he should be. Very dangerous attacking threat. Now Jensen, great off the ball movement there from the Sounders midfield. King wants to work the ball back simply with Antley. Antley goes and finds his counter partner, the other center back. Rivas now working all the way back, trying to find Jones, trying to lay off to Keats and unable to do so. Near side, it's Davidson. Drops back to Vong. Working with it now, Waterman. No pressure, and he's going to take his time, drop back to his goalie. Swings over to the far side now. TSS just wants to get some passes going. Nearing halftime, have yet to record a shot. Vong plays into his midfield. Figura playing long up and over the top. It looks like it's Kamara on the far side. Kamara finds a split, dangerous ball into the box, and that ball is going to sky over the crossbar, but not before a deflection comes off the defender. It was Nathan Ani there to send that one out of bounds. That shot was put on by Meto Polisi. Polisi there, able to put Ani on the ground with one hesitation move, trying to create his own space, but Ani's able to cover the net, and that would be the first shot recorded for TSS here in the 43rd minute. Corner, floats all the way back post, no one home, but the ball gets sent to Waterman. He's going to have a strike for the far post, and that one is off the head of Hatinen, but that was a dangerous heat-seeking missile for that upper 90 on that far post. Looking back at it, the corner is going to come up and over the top. One touch taken down. Waterman going away from the goal, and that ball was floating. It was heading upwards. And if Evan Moon was going to get there, we don't know, but that was a great shot coming off of the foot of Waterman. Joel Waterman adds his 5th shot of the season. Still hasn't found the back of the net. King now working around the defense. As we get closer and closer to halftime, unsure how much stoppage time we will have. It's been a very smooth going first half. 1 yellow card in the book for Joel Waterman. And it's Barry, brings that ball down with his chest. Barry plays back to Antley, where the ball came from. King working that ball back around, but looking back on this first half, rather quiet. A goal in the 10th minute scored by Trevor Jensen, coming off of a low cross from Derek Johnson. It was a beautiful dummy by Miguel Berry, leaving that ball for a wide open Jensen in the box. Jones tries playing that ball first time, and that ball just goes up and hits our own cameraman here with Bootstrapper Studio. Antley tries to flick to Keats. Keats now on the carry. Step over and out wide over to John. John, lots of space. Playing the ball back and carefully around. Johnson to Rivas. Rivas now in a double team. Keats flicks back to John, and that one goes out of bounds, and TSS going to take over here as we're approaching the 45th minute. TSS would love to find the back of the net and try and take this game 1-1 into halftime, but the Sounders trying to just keep possession on their own. The overlapping run coming from Kamara, taking John one-on-one and gets past him. Ani comes over to help. Maka King cleans up. Keats out wide to Johnson. Barry with the chest down to Rivas. Rivas on the attack, trying to find it on his right foot. Now turns back, looking, creating his own space. Rips a shot that's just wide of the post. Sergio Rivas with the last kick of the half now. Wow, he was able to create his own space on the turn, and while he had a defender all over him, was still able to rip the shot with the right foot. See how little space Sergio Rivas has, and a dangerous shot that goes just wide, and Andrew Hicks can breathe again now that we've reached halftime here, where the Sounders lead 1-0, had multiple chances on the net, and they were unable to crack it. So we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back with second half action in just about 15 minutes. You're watching the PDL, brought to you by Bootstrapper Studios. And welcome back here to Tukwila, Washington at Starfire Sports Stadium for second half action between the Sounders U23 and the TSS Rovers FC. The Sounders hold a 1-0 lead, and a happy Memorial Day weekend to all those who are tuning in, listening, watching, or viewing the game here. We'd like to thank anyone who has served or is currently enlisted or servicing now. Thank you to all of our veterans out there. I'm Peyton Behrens, and we are here for second half action of the USL PDL presented by Bootstrapper Studios. The Sounders scored a 10th minute goal. The assist coming from the left-footed Derek Johnson finds a low cross into the box with a wide open Trevor Jensen there to finish very clinically into a wide open net, as no one was within a country mile of Trevor Jensen. And the Sounders have that early 1-0 lead, something they haven't dealt with all season long. Usually it's the Sounders either cracking the net within the last 5 minutes of the match or falling in the last 10 minutes of it. The Sounders 2-1 on the season. TSS Rovers 1-4-1, and we are underway yet again here at Starfire Sports Stadium. It's the Rovers kicking things off. 45 minutes to go. Buckle in, and let's see some goals in the second half between the Rovers and the Sounders, as now the Rovers won't work with it in the back end. Sounders look as though they come out with no subs at halftime. It's the Rovers playing with the ball along the back now. So we didn't see much possession coming out of the Rovers in the first half, and now ball goes into the midfield. They're going to keep possession. No, Jensen's going to take over, push it past one. Jensen wants to take him on, trying to go down the left flank. He goes down, and the referee says no foul, out of bounds for TSS. Goal kick there. Jensen battling Kamara with the body, and Jensen was the one losing his footing. Kamara, that hand placement on the back was a little questionable, but we have the help of replay, and the referee in the center does not. TSS there could have caused a PK early. And it looks like Mado Polizzi is going to exit the field at halftime for TSS. Coming onto the field is going to be Zachary Verhoeven. He's going to be wearing number 6 for the Rovers. Barry is trying to chase a through ball. Doesn't get to it, and that ball is going to find its way back into the feet of Andrew Hicks. Working with it between two defenders now and creating a lot of space with a back heel turn. Still working with it is Figuera. Now sends it out wide. Turnover. King picks it up. Bring it the other way. Sergio Rivas turns in the midfield. Lots of green to his left side. Going to try and find Barry, and Barry unable to get a touchdown on it. Barry playing that lone high striker role all by himself. Sounders like to run 5 men in the midfield, 2 holding midfielders, as you see Trevor Jensen and Keats in that center mid role, and Sergio Rivas in the true number 10 role, as he is just that attacking center mid that loves creating plays. Working with it on the far sideline now is the Rovers. Davidson tries playing up and in, but Antley takes over. Pushes the ball into the feet of Barry, and Antley's still going on the attack. Puts an arm around the defender, and it was Vong and him battling, and Vong wins as he gets fouled. And it's going to be TSS Rovers on the free kick there. That entry pass coming from Barry, and that is Antley just battling, and surely a foul. Just the 2 hands around. Now we're going to see the Sounders' first substitution of the day. And it looks as Barry is going to be coming off the field. Subbing onto the field is going to be the forward, the attacker, Stein Sandbeckhog. Johnson defending Kamara. Entry pass. Now it's played out wide to Tasaka. Working with it now is Hatinen. And he's going to win a throw-in for the Rovers in the attacking end. Working with the goal kick here for the Sounders. It's going to be goalkeeper Evan Munn.
Okay, I might have just bumped that dial. It was down to it was off to the left.
Munn and Hicks both wearing some highlighter yellow back there. Looking bright as ever. And now bringing the ball down. Working with Isverhoven. Trying to work past his defenders. And out of bounds. Ball gets cleared of its lines with the Rovers. Trying to bring it back. Now it's Waterman, far side. Waterman into a double team, but they're going to call a foul on the aggressor there. So Stein Sandbeckhog. Another substitution in the works here for the Sounders. Tyler John exits the field and checking on for the Sounders. It looks like that's going to be number 2, Arian Blackstock.
Sounders U23. In the 52nd minute, entering the match, number 2, Arian Blackstock. Departing number 26, Tyler John.
Sounders now working outside to Johnson. Johnson hits the carpet. He gets fouled, taken out from behind. TSS unhappy with it. And it's Kamara slapping the ball, expressing his emotions with the call there. And the Sounders going to have a dangerous free kick. 2 set-piece specialists are standing near the ball now. And it's going to be either Rivas or Jones on the free kick. Sounders now have used 2 subs today after John exits the field. It's a warm day here in Tukwila, Washington. So we're sitting around 85 degrees. Free kick coming in from Jones. Back post is Keats. Keats plays it back across the face of the net. And there to finish is Nathan Awney, and the Sounders double the lead here at Tukwila, Washington. Nathan Awney there cracks open the scoring vault on the season. And it's well done, set up by Corey Keats. Keats, being the tall monster that he is, was able to win a header and send it back across the face of the net. And Awney was there to win the second ball and put that one in an empty netter. And that all set up from the Derek Johnson free kick that he won against Mamadi Kamara, and Kamara was very unhappy with the call, and now he's carrying the ball. Rivas there deflects it, and the Sounders now have some high energy pushing along the back line. Kamara still wants to exchange some words here on this near side with Johnson. Might be a matchup that we have to keep our eye on for the rest of the match. Sounders now working within the back. And it was Blackstock playing that ball in the air. Trying to work now. Kamara trying to play up the line. Lots of space. A big clearance, but doesn't even make it to the 50 working with it. Verhoeven loses the header to Arian Blackstock. King. Entry ball to Jones. Back to King. A little game of keep away going on between the two of them. Now the Sounders with a 2-0 lead. Commanding but dangerous 2-0 leads are. Any 2-goal lead. Very dangerous to work with as one can bring momentum, and we have a player down on the field. Referee immediately draws it dead and calls for the trainers. May have looked worse than it did from the booth, or it may be worse than it looked because it was Kerman Panu who went down in a heap and immediately grabbing the ankle there. So we take another look at it, and there's the stomp on the ankle. King just trying to cut on the ball. His foot was heading for that patch of turf as it was, and Panu taking a few spikes right there to the bone, and always tough here in soccer to deal with that, and it's going to hurt, but it looks like he's going to be able to walk it off on this one. May have to exit the premises of the field as training staff came on, and before it gets restarted, must exit the field. It looks like TSS will play with 10 until the referee waves him back on. Still getting medical attention on the far side. 56th minute here, first stoppage. The Sounders are going to get things going again after TSS plays the ball back into Sounders possession. Long ball going, trying to go up and over the top, and in an offside position is Stein Sandbekhog. And trying to get the flick on the volley. Still goes wide, but nonetheless offside, and it's going to restart with a Rovers free kick. Panu out waved back onto the field by the official. The Sounders awaiting the TSS offense to get up the field. Nice flick to Kamara, who's going to get that ball taken over by Johnson. Now it's Sandbekhog. Loses his footing on it. Jensen being able to pull it off the line, gets into a double team, and he goes down. Foul is called. Jensen doing the work that he needed to win possession for the Sounders as he found himself into a double team, and this secured the ball for the Sounders. Now a long ball wants to go up and over the top into that far side corner, the double team. And that ball works its way off of the flag stick and off of a Rover player. My goodness, you couldn't draw it up any better than that. Just unlucky there from Janko Vong running into that ball and guiding it out of bounds. And now the Sounders have a set-piece opportunity where they're going to send numbers up and into the box. Have a short Maka King there on the corner kick. But center backs get up into the attack. Rivas is on the goal line, wants to give the keeper some trouble there. King finds his way over to the near post. Now three Sounders back, crashing runs going there. Jones lobs the ball over to Anley, and that ball's going to head out of bounds for another corner kick, and the Sounders will just do it again. And it looks like Jones is going to make his way over to the corner kick, taking over full corner responsibilities over Rivas today. Keats is going to be the man who draws over to the near side. Sounders, 3 men on top of the 18, working the back post. 3 men in the keeper's area in that 6. They're going to check out, let 3 players run in. It's a dangerous ball, and it's a wide open Connor Antley, where he may have lost that ball in the traffic, but he was wide open on top of the 6, and that ball just skipped past him. Connor Antley was so close to finding his second goal into the back of the net on the season. Now a substitution coming on for the TSS Rovers. Checking off the field is number 14, Christian Hatian. And checking on for the Rovers is number 11, Jin An. Now the Sounders working with the ball in the defensive end. Keats goes to Rivas, unable to win it there. Now working around the Rovers, trying to get out of the triple team. Keats comes sliding through, doesn't win it, but there's Blackstock to win it. Antley wants to attack. Tries playing a ball wide to Johnson, intercepted. But now it's Keats, and it's classy heel flick to Rivas. Keats plays that ball out of bounds, but no, it's going to deflect off of the foot of Kerman Panu, and it's going to be a Sounders throw-in, and we'll see if Arian Blackstock has the same throwing ability that we see out of Tyler John. He's going to opt to play this one short to Rivas and get things going quickly. Rivas to Blackstock. And it's Antley, almost loses his footing, but keeps with the attack through a triple team, now through a fourth defender. Now goes into the middle, wants a fifth, sends a cross in, and that one just gets knocked out. Antley still working, trying to chase that one down. TSS now trying to counter. And that ball goes out wide, intended for Vong, and he chases it down. Vong wants to attack up the far sideline. Going through three, lays off to Davidson. Davidson to no one. Johnson now on the counter. But the ball does not get there, as On was able to get a touch on it. Now it's Kamara up the near sideline. Kamara taking on Blackstock. Now in a double team with Johnson. Splits the two, loses the footing, falls to the ground, gets the foul called, as that duo of Johnson and Blackstock may have pulled the footing out from underneath him. Dangerous free kick coming now from TSS. They're going to have an opportunity to try and win a header on target here. On top of the free kick is Kerman Panu. Panu been one of the more active midfielders, one of the more active players today for the TSS Rovers. Johnson and Rivas getting a talking to in the wall as the referee now makes his way over to positioning. We're 2/3 of the way through this match. The cross comes in near post, gets deflected, but it's going to be chased down by Barris. Now the right foot cross comes in, curling, and easy enough for Moon. He's going to look out to Rivas quickly in transition. Rivas getting that jersey tugged on, and that's the second time Sergio Rivas has been off to the races and gets stopped and pulled in, and now the yellow card being issued just like the first time for Kerman Panu, and the first time it was Waterman who yanked on the jersey of Rivas. This team knows how dangerous the number 10 is for the Sounders, as that jersey nearly gets yanked off of his own body. Keats going to be on top of this free kick here for the Sounders, trying to play a ball into the box. And it looks like Andrew Hicks has a lot of sun to try and battle with the angle. The sun setting here, and Keats is going to play a ball into the feet. Now it's with Jones. Jones through ball to Sandbeckhog. He gets onto it, stops, looks, crosses on the carpet, and it's Rivas! Sergio Rivas! Well done. Hugs all around for the Sounders. U23 is now, they have a field goal on the board, leading TSS 3-0 here at Starfire Sports Stadium. And there was a great through ball that led to Stein Sandbeckhog stopping the hesitation. Picks out his target calmly, finds it, and right there the number 10 does exactly what he's supposed to do. Just pass that ball into the back of the net. No pressure around him, almost mirroring the shot that Jensen had in the first half, 10 minutes in. And the Sounders now extend that 3-0 lead, and everything looks like it's going to be the Sounders' way today. Sandbeckhog turns, Attacking has Rivas off to the right, uses it. Rivas now attacking yet again, trying to find Sandbach and return the favor and unable to do so. Hicks on the rollout.
Your Sounders FC. And Sandbach.
Now the Sounders trying to work into the TSS's end. Get a turnover. Rivas finds himself on the ground. Substitution in the offing here for the Sounders, awaiting a dead ball. Keats works with it. Sends it outside. It's with a Arian Blackstock. Now into the Fia Sandbach. He's going to try and send the through ball. No. Second time effort. He's going to try and send that ball out wide to King. Unable to do so. And it's going to be turnover into the hands of the Rovers. And we'll see what substitution the Sounders plan to make here. And it looks like Adam Jones is finding his way over to the 50. That'll be the night on number 20, Adam Jones. Heading onto the field, number 7, Burke Failing.
Departing number 20, Adam Jones.
Failing got the start in the last home game for the Sounders, and now subs on here in the 66th minute. He's an attacking outside mid that'll bring a lot of energy to a team that already has a lot of energy with a 3-0 lead here, the Sounders U23. '66th minute here in Tukwila, Washington, live from Starfire Sports Stadium. You're watching the USL PDL, brought to you by Bootstrapper Studios. I am Peyton Behrens. The Sounders have had everything their way today. Evan Munn getting his first start in the net for the Sounders U23 on the season. So far, so good. Hasn't had a real test through 67 minutes on Friday night. It was Cameron Frost who got the start in Victoria. Paul Christensen played the first 2 matches, and now Frost gets a match. Munn, excuse me. Evan Munn gets the call in this game. Working with his Tasaka. Now it's Johnson and Rivas playing back and forth. Rivas into the Fia Sandbach. Johnson trying to flick. No, but he tries keeping it. Unable. Rovers on the attack, trying to make the turn up the field. And it's shut down by Ani. Coming down the other way is the Rovers. Get into the 18. Trying to find enough space to turn and get a cross off. Does so. Now working with it. It's Panu. And that ball gets cleared out, cleared its lines. Waterman trying to find its drop back all the way to the keeper. And Hicks now has lots of space in front of him. Turnover, and losing the footing there is Burke Failing. And Failing is going to win a free kick for the Sounders here. 3-0, and looking back on the goals that the U23's Sounders have put into the back of the net, Trevor Jensen had a 10th minute goal where he was wide open about 6-7 yards out. No one around him. A low cross on the carpet came from Derek Johnson and found that one into the back of the net. Early in the second half, we saw a free kick that Johnson won initially, and the cross came in. Corey Keats was on the back post, heading it across the face of the goal, and Nathan Ani was there to fire it into an empty net. And just minutes after that, it was Sergio Rivas finding the back of the net, as it was Stein Sandbach with the cross, low, calm, cool, and composed on the ground to find Sergio Rivas into the back of the net, giving the Sounders a 3-0 lead. Verhoeven working between defenders. Now outside. TSS, not a lot of pressure here in this second half. First half, nearly just as quiet. Kamara turns over. Keats. Gonna lay off to King. Goes into Stripling, and the one-touch pass intended for Failing gets turned over, but now Keats wins it back. King playing into Stripling. It's almost won by Failing as TSS is working the ball in the back. Kamara, great turn. Trying to go past two defenders now. Finally lays off. Working with it now is Tasaka. Tasaka drops back. TSS holding a majority of the possession here in these last few minutes. So the Sounders have made more substitutions. TSS, a lot more energy. Blackstock being able to win that one easily. Sandbeckog now on the sideline, plays into Rivas. Rivas goes back to Blackstock. Ani tries playing an entry ball into Sandbeckog. Keats. No, and that ball's going to go over, bounce, out of bounds. Sounders throw in here. Substitutions who have come in for the Seattle Sounders. You have Stein Sandbeckog, who's checked into the game as the striker and now found his way into the outside midfield role. Connor Stripling has now found himself into the striker role as he came on for Derek Johnson. Colton Cavy's found his way into the match. Burke Failing has found his way into the match. Orion Blackstock took over for Tyler John on the outside back. And Matthew Rienica came in at center back for Connor Antley. The Sounders have cleared their bench other than goalkeeper Cameron Frost. Cavey outside to Failing. Failing wants to play simple and drops back to King. King all the way back to Munn. Keats turns, finds Failing. He's going to try and lay off to King and unable to do so. We've entered the last 10 minutes of the match here. It's Rivas on the attack. Plays a through ball. Sandbeckog has support outside, uses it, it's Failing. He's going to attack. Left foot, strike on the carpet, doesn't get past the back line. Working with his Waterman. Now plays outside. TSS under some heavy pressure, and Waterman's going to try and get them out of it. Cuts back. Lays off into the center now. And now finally the Rovers find space. Back into the middle. Figueroa sprays the ball outside, working with it up the sideline. The Rovers, and finally they get that foul called. Here in the 82nd minute, they have a chance to get the goose egg off the board. The Sounders lead 3-0 as the home team has dominated today. Free kick coming in the works here. Far side of the field. The right-footed in-swinger is headed back post. Kamara's there, but that one finds the hands of Munn. Munn wants to go deep with a punt. Almost dangerous, but now it's Cavey. Sends that ball outside. Trying to find Failing, but Vong is there to stop any of the attack. Panu tries playing up and over the top. Miscommunication there with that striker, Zachary Verhoeven. 83rd minute, Sounders leading 3-0 over the Rovers.
Fans stick around for autographs after the game. The Sounders will be signing near the
Live here from Starfire Sports Stadium. You're watching the USL PDL, brought to you by Bootstrapper Studios. I'm Peyton Behrens. Sounders with a 3-0 lead. Their 10th minute goal from captain Trevor Jensen. Now it's Sandbeckhog. Working down all the way to the goal line. Jensen opened up scoring early in the match for the Sounders. And then early in the second half, a goal from Nathan Ani and Sergio Rivas back-to-back opened up the 3-0 lead that the Sounders have still held on to. Bears drops back simply through his keeper and out the other side. The Rovers happy to play in the space that they have in the back, and now force the through ball up and over the top, and it's on, settling it. Try and take the defender one-on-one. No, goes out to Kamara. Kamara still taking the ball. Lays off. It's Panu. Trying to find enough space for a strike. No. Cavey takes the ball away. Goes outside to King. Lots of space on the near sideline. Rivas wants it. King plays the entry pass into the feet of Stripling there, and possession going back and forth, and finally Cavey gets it. He gets pushed down onto the ground, blown dead very quickly as the yellow card comes out, and that's the third time that a Rover has found his way into the referee's magic little book there, and it's Figura finding his way with a yellow card here in the 85th minute. Sounders trying to milk as much clock as possible here after the yellow card was issued. Not going to rush to take any sort of free kick late in this game, as it's almost all said and done here in Tukwila. Thus far, the Sounders have taken care of business today, but still got to hold on. These last 5 minutes is when the Sounders fell to Calgary. Pressuring now is Colin Stripling. Drops back, and now the long ball goes up and over the top. It's Rienica heading to Keats. Now to near side with Blackstock. He's going to play simply back through his defenders. Nathan Ani, the goal scorer today. Ani with a lovely header off of a set piece, assisted by Keats, using his own head to play the ball back across the face of the goal. You can hear the train roll on by here at Starfire, as the Sounders have been on a roll today of their own. Failing to Rivas. Rivas attacks through, ball goes to Steinbeckhog. He's onside. Low ball on the ground, and the shot was there for Stripling. Saved and cleared out of bounds in the 87th minute. The Sounders are on the attack, trying to make it 4. Steinbeckhog did a great job at waiting, making sure he wasn't offside there. Played a low ball that was dangerous into the middle of Rovers and Sounders alike. Ball cleared out, but only to Keats. Keats wearing the captain's band now, after Jensen and Antley had been sent off, and it got passed over to him. Arian Blackstock and Rivas. Rivas lays off to Cavey. Cavey looks up, wants the strike, takes it. That one was GPS'd into Andrew Hicks' hands. Into the 88th minute here at Starfire Sports Stadium. Rovers trying to play up their near sideline. Blackstock says no and keeps it, dances along that white sideline. Gavey plays that ball up and over the top. Stripling's going to chase it down. He's working, trying to keep that ball in play, and a foul is called as Stripling's work rate was just outside of the rule book of the referee, and the whistle below as the play is stopped in its tracks. Rovers still in the attack. Kamara, miscommunication with On, and that one's going to get flicked out of bounds. Ani comes over for the throw-in. Into Stripling's head. And Rivas is trying to chase it down. Miscommunication from the defender and the goalie. Rivas one-on-one. The chip off the upper 90 of the crossbar. Sergio Rivas with the finesse. My goodness. Rivas wins that ball off the feet of the defender after the miscommunication with him and Hicks. Rivas saw that Hicks was about 10 yards out, wanted to try and go up and over the top, and that one found its way off the woodwork. Cheeky stuff from Rivas, as he already has a goal on the day, looking to try and double his total. With just the 2 goals in the second half, 1 stoppage for injury, a couple of substitutions, we'll see how much stoppage time will be awarded here as we are just getting ready to enter into that stoppage time period. Working with this Panu, he drops back to Bears. Working with it along the far side. Now the Rovers, Kamara in a triple team, and now it's just him and King battling. Played back into his defense. Lots of space over here for Bears. One touch goes to On. On turns faces. Now into a double team. He's going to dribble his way out of it into the middle. Through 2, through 3. On. Now the turnover to Cavey. King wants to clear his lines. Over the 50, and now it's Stripling. Wins the knockdown. Rivas flicks to Failing. Sounders have 4, 5 counting into the attack. Failing lays off to Rivas. Goes back into Stripling. Outside to Failing, and no stoppage time there. We hit the 90th minute, and the referee blows that game dead, and that does it. The Sounders win this home match here at Starfire Stadium 3-0. The second part of a great Soccer Sunday doubleheader between Seattle Sounders S2 today. Started today off at 2 p.m. and they tied the game 2-2 with Sac Republic in the USL match. And today, looking at it, the Sounders U23 comes away with a 3-0 win off the TSS Rovers FC. And it was a match well done by the Sounders U23, where it started off with an early goal in the 10th minute from the captain, number 6, Trevor Jensen. And that lead, 1-0, held its way into the second half, where then the second goal was placed off of Nathan Ani. The set piece was done, sent in after Derek Johnson won a free kick. Sounders were able to capitalize. There's Corey Keats, won the initial header, send it back across the face of the goal. And Ani was there to put things away and give the Sounders a 2-0 lead. And the third goal of the match today, scored by Sergio Rivas, and it was Steinbeck Hogg taking his time, finding the right pass in the 18. That was just a beautiful low pass. Found a wide open Sergio Rivas, who just redirected the ball into an empty net. And that'll wrap things up here from Starfire Sports Stadium after the Sounders U23 win 3-0 over the TSS Rovers. It was a beautiful day here for soccer in Tukwila, Washington. And that will do it for tonight. So for Bootstrapper Studios, you've been watching the PDL on YouTube. I'm Peyton Behrens. Thank you for joining us today where the Sounders U23 beat TSS Rovers 3-0.